everybody. How are you? It is me, the internet's and certainly YouTube's least known, least relevant ASM artist. I am the underconfident human. Welcome. So, today I am entitling this video the ASMR Truth Talk because this is hard for me. It still feels weird. It's been about 2 weeks now since I made the switch. All of my life, I have been a nerd, and in particular, an Apple nerd. I grew up with the Macintosh. I lived and breathed the Macintosh. The stories I could tell you. I had my dad had gotten me a Macintosh SE computer when I was 5 years old. I got a Performa when I started 6th grade middle school, and my junior year of high school, I had a spanking new iMac. And when I was real little, sometimes my mom would have to force me to go outside to play because I'd rather stay in either playing Nintendo or playing on my computer. And in middle school, God, it was so ridiculous. Like, my computer was literally my best friend, gaming all the time and doing stuff. And it was like a real defining part of myself. And my school used all Apple computers, so I had these like I would have my schoolwork on these Mac formatted floppy disks, and I felt pretty good about that because like almost everyone else in the school had DOS, Windows, PCs 95, Windows 98, and all that crap. And nah, actually, it's funny. I kind of grew up with some DOS too because that was my dad's computer and he had the games. But anyway, that was a whole different world, a different time, different place. But as far as Apple goes, it's Apple in this generation and even last generation. It's not the same company that I grew up with, Apple Computer Inc. And whole different landscape. But anyways, I've always been a pretty loyal fellow, and of course I've had an iPhone forever. But I have made the jump to Android, and believe me, I hate Google. I am not a fan of the company and their obsessive surveillance, data mining. There's ways to firewall things and get around all that, I know. And having a long history with BSD, I'm at least comfortable with some of that subject matter. But anyways, yes, so I have jumped on board with the S23 Ultra, and I even switched up and also have the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. One of the big shots at work he's a pure Samsung guy, and he got the new Apple, or see, I still want to just instinctively say Apple Watch. He got the newest Galaxy Watch, and so he sold me this one for $100. This is a $500 unit. It's the cellular edition 5 Pro, so I'm still getting used to that. But yeah, why in the world did a lifelong Apple guy jump ship? It's really not much to do with the whole thing Android folks usually tout, like all the excessive degrees of customization and all the I guess some of the freedom you have in terms of apps is kind of nice, because emulators and things like that and stuff I could certainly get down on. But the big thing for me, you want to know what brought me over to Android. Something I think is really cool. And all it involves is this little USB-C dongle here. Let's listen for a moment. USB ports have another purpose. They actually make great ASMR, in my humble and uneducated opinion. This little guy right here is why I jumped to Android. Do you know why? Are you figuring this out? I'll get to it. But before I show you, I guess we should listen to the sounds of the S23 Ultra. S23 Ultra. Galaxy, 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 Galaxy. Personally, I love the sound of glass. So, I guess I have always been someone that wanted to use my phone, my smartphone, as a computer. This goes as far back as early in the BlackBerry days. I had several Blackberries over the years. And as a matter of fact, when the iPhone first came out, and the first couple after that, I stuck by BlackBerry because I was really loyal to the brand, and I just had everything set up just my way, and I was doing things before they were popular, in my opinion. Like with my BlackBerry, I remember, I think it was the Bold 9650 I had, that I went on and filed my taxes electronically online strictly through my phone. This was at a time when there was no TurboTax app, so I was able to get in through the website and navigate with that glorious BlackBerry browser. Let alone I managed a blog that I wrote entirely with a BlackBerry. I actually had published a crappy book that will remain nameless, but I had written and published a book with Lulu, written entirely with my BlackBerry, and that was just my thing. Like, mobile computing really excited me. And as smartphones evolved and advanced, it became more and more easier and possible to do desktop-esque related things with the device in your pocket. Excuse me, but granted, it's never managed to land me a girlfriend yet. I mean, who wants to date a fat, bald guy like me, right? But the mobile computing thing is very exciting to me, and I was doing just fine with my iPhone. I did a lot of the things I would want to do anyway, but then there's this. So, as you can see, yeah, good. X recorder. How about that? So, this is why I switched over to Android. This is my phone plugged in to that USB hub. I am looking at a curved Samsung display monitor, which I had well before the phone, but this is my environment, and I love this. Like, it's so cool. If you can see down here, my little notification menu is going, the phone is charging while it's plugged into all this other stuff, including a keyboard, gaming keyboard, and a mouse. I could go wireless with Bluetooth, but I like a good wired connection like this. So yeah, when I pull things up here, I've got this interface here, and of course my desktop. However, I set the wallpaper on my desktop, doesn't change what's on my phone, so they run separate. As a matter of fact, I can even go to my phone right now and do stuff on it, make calls, texts, do whatever, if I don't want to interrupt what's going on the screen, or I can do it through the screen. I can dial calls and send texts and all that, but they can run semi-independently of each other. My phone's not even on right now. I mean, the screen's not on, it's locked, and yet this is open. So this is primarily it. Talk about a mobile computing experience. I keep a hub and a keyboard and mouse in my book bag, and I've got everything I need to plug in anywhere. And so I thought I would kind of give you a quick tour. And I know there are professional tech channels and stuff that could do a way better job of this than I can, but still keeping this ASMR style nice and quiet and peaceful. This is the easiest way I know to tell my story and basically demonstrate the thing about Android, and in particular Samsung, that really got me turned. And it's called Samsung DeX, D-E-X, DeX, which turns your phone into this, and it runs smooth. I mean, I can do all the desktop style things. I've got, multitasking down at the bottom, but check this out. Notice when I open an app, I can resize the window to whatever I want it to be. This doesn't run like a little rectangular app on your phone. Like, this is, pull up my menu over here, and I've got, plugins and ad blockers and stuff available to me. Can download files wherever I need to, print, turn stuff into PDFs, and it's all desktop style. I mean, seriously, this is so cool. Read my tech news and do what's going on there. Meanwhile, I've been messing with possible Office suites. I would love to show you Word, but this is signed in through my work account, and I can't show you my real name and work information, so I gotta leave that closed. But same with, I was messing with Google Docs, but I think it kind of sucks. I'm not a big fan, but full-blown Adobe Reader. I was messing with this briefly. Not sure I'm crazy about it, but it's sort of an open office clone that runs. I mean, just look at my screen. Like, Like, this is from my phone. I really think that's cool. It just runs so nicely. This file manager here is one that's sort of I use this in BSD, but they made a total commander for the phone. I just thought that was cool, but my normal file manager is here. And look at this thing. Again, this don't strike me as a mobile phone looking desktop here. If I plug in one of my external hard drives, pops right in here, and I can move files back and forth as I so please. There's an option in any of these windows, like you can minimize, maximize, and close them, pin them, and then this thing here, which I'm not sure I understand exactly why that'd be useful, is to change the opacity, but I guess some people might dig that. I don't. But yeah, then I can pull up the Play Store here and find apps as I want. Email client. Again, that's another one I don't think I can show you because it's going to pull up some things I don't want to show on my channel, but all my various accounts are in here, including my work email, YouTube. I mean, how cool is this? It runs so well. That's what really impresses me about this particular phone and its processor and GPU. Like, this stuff is just so darn smooth. I was gonna show you the Subway Surfer app running on DeX on my desktop here, because when you full screen it, it takes up the whole screen, and man, the resolution and clarity and smoothness is so perfect. I mean, it runs silky smooth. But I decided against it because when I did a test run of that for this video, it's loud. The internal audio is being recorded, and I could disable that, but I didn't really want to. I just left everything as it is. But anyways, it does run real nice. So yeah, being able to go into DeX and have this thing fire up, change the screen resolution, all these things, and it just, I mean, this is it. That's all I got to say, guys. This is why I went to Android, and it's awesome. I mean, this is really cool to me. I can't say that enough. Trying to figure out if there's anything else I can actually show you, because like I said, I just don't want to get into too much of my personal information, you know what I mean? But my crypto, as you can see, I'm terribly wealthy. But these are, you know, unlike a web browser, I can use a lot of my native apps. Here's my address if you want to, you know, be a sweetheart and donate some Tron, because this is my favorite blockchain. But yeah, this just runs well. Anyway, if you can suggest a decent photo library management tool, I would be interested in knowing, because this one is the best one I found so far. Aves, whatever they call it. It's okay, but I have a huge and well organized photo library, so I'd like to know what you guys prefer to use if you have big libraries that you really care about preserving. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting experience to me to be able to run apps in such a desktop-esque manner off my phone. Like makes everything giant, but yet not. We know this guy, right? The Underconfident Humans battlejacket. We could do just for some extra noise, could do a quick tour. Order of the Static Temple enamel pen, which goes with my Static Temple patch. Bugsy, because you know Bugs Bunny has always been and shall always be my favorite cartoon character. Misfits, Typo, Wu-Tang, Ministry, Public Enemy, and Dead Kennedys. For different reasons, I feel these all really go well together. And then, of course, Bugs just looking like Bugs, badass he is. Frontline Assembly, KMFDM, Wax Trax Records, Front 242. My adorable little Baphomet. Then here I have an enamel pen of Bugs Bunny spanking Lola. Spanking that. White Zombie, Skinny Puppy, the Happy Mac, because I told you I was a Macintosh guy my whole life. Classic Mac OS is more my jam than the modern day. Church of the Subgenius here. Another Bugsy pen here. We got Peter Steele, Typo Negative, Uncle Freddy, Green Jelly, The Misfits, Crass, Alien Sex Fiend, Rick. Bugs' hand is like right on my heart. It's the way it sits, it works out pretty good, I think. My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, Velvet Acid Christ, my favorite baseball team, Cleveland Indians, Go Tribe, Long Live Chief Wahoo. Wax Trax, Front 242, Christian Death. This is the cover of the EP Prophecies, which is one of my personal favorites. Obviously, it's why it's here. Susie and the Banshees, Zeppelin, Bowie, and I say here, Crass, Exploited, another KMFDM, Subhumans. I love the Subhumans, and Citizen Fish. I just think they're cool. Another DK, because I do love the Kennedys. Over here, got the Atom Cats from Fallout, for those of you that don't know. My little teeth-smiling ghost there says, "See you in hell." I actually have this because it's sort of my opinion on the fact that there's gatekeepers that hate my battle jacket because it's multi-genre. I'm not a monolithic person. I live for music, but I listen to more than one kind. Sorry. So, with that said, Order of the Static Temple, Danzig, Manson. This is a Revolting Cox pen. Cypress Hill, White Zombie, Iron Butterfly, and The Time of Our Lives. This artwork was badass. Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures. Very, very personally important album. Say that. This is for Bauhaus. Typo Negative. It's Beastie Boys. This little bunny, I assume that's supposed to be the Playboy bunny. I only threw that in this little space here because one of my, I forget which one it was. Actually, it's been a while. I think one of my Bugs Bunny ones here, this one. For whatever reason, they threw this extra little teeny tiny patch in the envelope, so I went on ahead and threw it on my vest just for the hell of it. But yeah, Rancid, Beasties. I realize this line right here is probably crazy because you got some industrial, some hip-hop, and then thrash punk, but I love all these bands very much. That's why they're on my vest. So the Circle K, that's from one of the employee shirts. I had a friend that worked there, and she was the manager. And I'm a loyal Circle K guy. It's where I get all my gas and stuff. It's just one of my life routines. Lindemann, because I do greatly appreciate the work of Till Lindemann, even if he is landing himself in some trouble nowadays. Public Enemy. It's kind of a cloth stripe patch on the side, and then my third base patch down here. On the back, as you can see from compared to last time I did a video with my battlejacket, I moved the torque patch back there. The neck here folds down and just over it, so it looks, you can see this whole thing just perfectly. Got my woven patch here for Peter Steele. I love this patch. This white zombie patch is another one of my favorites of the bunch. I'm a big white zombie fan anyway, but this patch here is hard to find, and I just loved it. It's all embroidered. It was really a good, well-made thing. Another change from the past is this up here. I had a few patches across. Instead, I have this custom-made Aesop Rock patch, because in terms of remotely modern hip-hop, this is one of my favorite rappers, and Aesop Rock is just incredible on the mic. Way underrated. For the hell of it, I filled in this space up here with this Skyrim. It was from a necklace, and I sewed it across the butt here and through the loop there. It's sewn down with several layers of thread, so that is not going anywhere. My blue Clan of Zymox patch, my giant KMFDM back patch. I love the Don't Blow Your Top is probably not my most favorite KMFDM album, but this is my most favorite band after all, and I love this artwork. Like, that is just classic. Got another Bugs. This one, he's looking just kind of, cool, standing on the corner of the Rammstein logo here. I'm leaning on the Don't Blow Your Top, and this advice with his facial expression just made sense in my head. Got Ozzy, who doesn't love the Oz? Another typo. My Casket Crew patch, Skinny Puppy, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, Rammstein, Christian Death, and fucking Ministry. Excuse me, Ministry. Sometimes it just comes out that way when you talk about Ministry. Got a big embroidered Chief Wahoo I sewed on here because I know it's, it seems in nerd culture and punk culture and even in metal culture, some people just don't like sports. That's fine, but I do like sports. I don't live and breathe it, and I do think that most of them people are way overpaid for what they do, but I don't care. I do love me some baseball, and I love my Indians. And I got an embroidered Red Man patch here. This Rob Zombie's beside that Cypress Hill patch. Body Count, another Wu-Tang. Boogie Down Productions, KRS-One, Public Enemy, House of Pain, Fine Malt Lyrics. I love these guys. Kicker, my favorite brand of car audio. Bass in the 15s, Tribe Called Quest. This embroidered patch here is KRS-One's signature. This is for Lucas Sikon, the album Lucas Centric. Very, very important to my childhood, and I'll leave it at that. But that third bass patch, and then Prodigy. Definitely important to my high school years. And then over here, this is an ASMR patch. At least it is for me. Arkham Sanitarium staff. This is dedicated to and because of Ephemeral Rift, who is my favorite ASMR artist, hands down. I love this guy very much. He's been so important to me over the years, especially as someone with anxiety issues and who takes who's on medication because my anxiety is so severe. I finally gave in and went on something. Anyway, thank you, Ephemeral Rift. Clan of Zymox, Revolting Cox, Leftover Crack, which is sort of in the in-between space of here, the front and the back, which it's funny that it's on the crack, but I love me some thrash, and I love some Leftover Crack. These guys are badasses, always have been. Comby Christ, Skinny Puppy, and I had to squeeze in No Effects because I love Fat Mike. I think he's great. But yeah, so I thought I would use my Instagram there to give you a quick tour of my desktop. So when I get home from work and want to do things or need to finish up things, I've got Microsoft Office on here. I use Word a lot, and occasionally I'll use Excel, but I have a full-fledged internet browser and a fantastic approach to YouTube. So I'll have a YouTube video playing while I'm writing or doing something else, managing my WordPress or what have you. And there it is. How awesome is that, right? So there you have it. That is how and why a longtime Apple man has went total Android, because I am just totally in love with this situation. So, like I said, with my monitor in place, underneath of the monitor where the legs are for the stand sits that little USB hub, and everything's plugged into it. All I do when I walk home is sit down on my desk, plug in my phone, and it's charging, and I have my full desktop up, and the internet speed is fantastic. Because the 5G here is good, and I got Wi-Fi, so I'm definitely not down either way. That thing has an Ethernet port, but don't really need it. So, I have switched all my Apple Pay over to, I even have Samsung Money, like not just the Samsung wallet, but I switched my bank stuff over to that, and I have that card. Like, I went 100% all in, and I don't hate it. I guess I'm not a blue bubble anymore, but I don't care. This is way more fantastic, and I have to give it to Samsung, because this DeX thing in particular, to me, is a game changer. This is definitely, it made me jump ship, but then again, I am a niche user, perhaps. I am someone that really goes for that kind of thing and will use it on an almost daily basis. So, I still need to find exactly what video editor I want to use on Android, and I'm curious if I can find a good DOSBox emulator and a good tracker, like Fast Tracker or Milky Tracker or something, for my occasional music writing stuff. Barring that, though, I'm good, and I really, really am growing quickly to love this device. The graphite 1 terabyte Samsung Galaxy. Got a nice, strong, sturdy case on it, because it makes the phone fatter than it needs to be, but that's just the way I like it. I'd rather give up some thinness and have some security. And Samsung Pay so far has been flawless on any tap-to-pay places, so satisfied. Anyways, I guess if you guys want me to do another video sometime talking about Android stuff and my experiences as I'm learning and moving along with it here, getting out of the iEverything ecosystem, then let me know, and maybe I'll fire up DeX here again someday and do some things. But anyways, hey, this is the Underconfident Human signing out, and I will see ya. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Later.